Well, hello and welcome to a new show on Eurosport, The Boxing Show. The plan is for you to discover and grow to love amateur boxing, and we'll shine a light on AIBA's showcase event, the World Championships, which took place in Belgrade in Serbia recently. We'll bring you highlights of all of the finals in each category. We'll take a closer look at the Afghan boxing team, and we'll go behind the scenes with the French fighter Sofiane Umia during his successful excursion. The chance to see the best amateur boxers, of course, some of them heroes of the Olympics in Tokyo, trying to add new titles and succeeding. And in the last part of the show, we'll look back on a legendary Olympic matchup, Oscar De La Hoya fighting against Marco Rudolph in 1992. Great memories there, and we'll finish with some of the current big names of the amateur boxing world, all together in Belgrade for the event of the year in the Sport Talks format. Enjoy the show. Well, every major event needs an opening ceremony, and this is how things looked ahead of the Men's World Championships at the Stark Arena. During the Parade of Nations, the crowd were mostly fans of the home team as well as neighbours Bosnia and Herzegovina, Montenegro and North Macedonia. And AIBA introduced its Fair Chance team as well. Well, during 2 weeks, 500 athletes from over 88 countries competed in 13 weight categories, the most in the event's history. And the boxing great Roy Jones Jr. then took to the stage.
So boxing is an art, it's life, it's rhythm, it's music.
And we saw those fantastically fast hands doing their Rocky Balboa thing. Well, in the flyweight category, the final was between the Kazakh Sakan Bibosinov, bronze medalist at the Tokyo Olympics and also bronze medal winner at the World Championships in Yekaterinburg a couple of years ago. He faced the American Roscoe Hill from Texas, third in the US Olympic team trials, the best result in his career. Bibosinov experienced, and that experience showed. Unanimous decision in his favor in the end. Well, the final of the bantamweight division was between two Asian fighters, Kazakhstan's super talented Mahmoud Sabikan and Japan's Tomoya Tsuboi. Sabikan won the Puerto Princesa 2017 Asian Junior Boxing Championships, the Bangkok 2018 Asian Youth Boxing Championships. Great experience in recent years, but his Japanese opponent, Tsuboi, 6 years of international experience, and he'd beaten the much taller Bilal Benama in the semi-finals. Sabikan started well, bit of youthful energy about his performance, but Tsuboi, 5 years older, the more patient fighter here, and he waited for his best opportunities, and eventually he started to take them. Started to land his combinations from range, started to make the Kazakh miss. Sabikan's really talented technically. I think Tsuboi in the end just knew too much. Japan earning its first ever gold medal in the history of the AIBA Men's Elite World Boxing Championships. Well, now for the minimum weight final. Asians have great traditions in this, the smallest weight category. Boxer from Kazakhstan, representative of Thailand, getting to the final. This is often the weight class of the next generation. Many of the previous champions won medals as young talents, but this was two veterans competing for gold. 33-year-old Kazakh Temirtaz Zuzupov started off in 2009. Wutichai Urichai, the Thai fighter here, both trading in the opening round. Really good stuff, this. In the end, Zuzupov built up a big advantage after 6 minutes. And Urichai really was forced after the second to almost give up on his tactics and just try and land big punches, just getting outboxed. Kazakh eventually taking charge here, do enough in round 3, as you can see. Still in the second here, still good movement from the Kazakh fighter. Just managing to get on the front foot, just making the Thai boxer miss enough. Not always accurate himself, falling short there. But into the third round, as I said, Urichai went for it, had a little bit of success, but Kazakh just landing enough counters, staying out of trouble enough. Good left hook there, as you can see. Didn't land cleanly, but he knew really after the first couple of rounds he just needed to do enough, and he did more than enough. Forced the 8 count, great shot that. And he was busy. Good action here in the third and final round. Better man won, and it was convincing too. A lot of these finals were quite wide margins.
By unanimous decision, to the right corner is Kazakhstan, Davidas Zushupo.
We're in for a treat now at light welter, because the Cuban Andy Cruz Gomez, the Olympic champion from Tokyo, is up against this man, the young Turk Kerem Özmen, in the final. He's always going to have his hands full against this man, looking for his 3rd world title at light welter. Classic Cuban amateur style, and in the end, far too good. I must say, I thought Özmen acquitted himself well. Tried to be aggressive and tried to get on the front foot, tried to knock Cruz Gomez off his rhythm, which is hard to do. He did have some little pockets of success with it, but that was never going to be enough. It's making him fall short. Good footwork from Cruz Gomez, and how he controlled things. Landed enough as well. Good sharp left hook, and the jab, of course, allowed him to dominate as well. The problem with this man, he makes you increasingly desperate. See the short right hook there from Cruz Gomez. His judgment of distance is so good as well. See the straight right hand there, and just look at the feet. Look how quick the hands are as well. Roy Jones would certainly have enjoyed this. Well, he'd win the Val Barker Trophy, awarded to the boxer of the championship. I don't think too many would argue with that. I suppose that's effectively saying you're pound for pound at these world championships. Look more and more beleaguered. Özmen. And it was pretty much over. After the second round, he only had a puncher's chance then. Would have been way behind, was way behind. And you could see the fatigue started to set in. It's not just physical against this fella, it's mental as well. A little short uppercut there, got inside and fought well on the inside. Forced the standing count. Right hook there is what caused that. Listen, there's no shame in a silver medal. I think that's the lesson that the Turk had to take. Look how fresh Cruz Gomez still looks. Another excellent display, completely dominant, and he made a final look like a first round.
Winner by points from the blue corner, and Cuba, Andy Cruz Gomez. Cuba.
Great win for him. Underlining a real talent. Third world title. Well, AIBA showcased its commitment to equal opportunity by providing support to the first ever Fair Chance team, which aims to support boxers who may not be in their native countries or may not be able to represent those countries due to humanitarian reasons. Tawfiqullah Soleimani, national champion in 86 kilos. Ramesh Ramani, 51 kilos. He says, I love boxing, loved it since I was a kid, and I watched the professional competitions. I wanted to be a champion ever since then. And thank God I was able to achieve that. I won a silver medal in Indonesia, bronze in the Asian Championship, and other achievements too in other competitions.
شکر خدا توجه را سویده و پیش دولت که بود اندونزیا پرزنت کپ متال نقره گرفتم مسابقات آسیایی برنز گرفتم مسابقاتی که داشتم پرده پی از او چند دستاوردی داشتم.
Well, we can hear from the Secretary General of the Afghan Boxing Federation. Wahidullah Hamidi says with the political changes in Afghanistan, no government, no flags for us to represent, but we worked hard with the AIBA Fair Chance team to create this team and come to participate in this World Championship.
اما با تلاش‌های بسیار زیادی که داشتیم شبانه روزی با تیم مخصوص آیبا که رهبریش بخش فیر چانس انا با عهده داشت ما بسیار کوشش کردیم که تیم ایجاد کنیم.
Mani says currently it's very hard to get outside of Afghanistan, and we want to thank AIBA for helping us to be here. Great pictures these, aren't they? Great passion for the sport. What about seeing this? What an opportunity for this team. And Soleimani says when we came here we saw the best fighters and the best teams in the world, including my favourites, Cuba and Uzbekistan. I'm very happy to see them here. What I want to remember from here is all the techniques, the tactics and the performances in the ring.
میخوایم چیزایی را اینجا از خود به خاطر خود ثبت کنم تکنیک تاکتیک عملکردهایی که در این رنگ شد چون
و یا قهرمان هستند اگر ما قهرمان
Well, they're also champions and we can't afford to lose them. Boxing is a chance for them to have freedom and a way for them to fulfill their dreams of being champions and being free.
و یک چیزی را برشان بده که یعنی رویایشان بوکس بود و قهرمان شدن بود یا بتانند دیره.
Soleimani rounds things off by saying, quite simply, I want to continue boxing and I want to try so hard that one day I become an Olympic champion. We wish them all luck. Stay with us. In the next part, we'll have a special focus on the French fighter Sofiane Umia, who we follow during his Serbian competition. And we'll have the highlights too of other weight categories. Well, my life as a boxer today is a roller coaster. I missed a lot of things, events for boxing, and it's not really a sacrifice. It's where I'm fulfilled and where I'm happy. I've been doing this since I was a kid. I eat boxing, I live boxing. I started in the French team in 2009, and since then I've tried to make the national anthem ring out at every competition, to win gold medals everywhere. I was a silver medalist at the Rio Olympics, but I needed that gold because I've always been that kid who believed in his dreams. I won gold at every competition, so I said to myself in Tokyo, if everything goes well, if I give everything, I should win gold. Unfortunately, it didn't work out as planned. My defeat in the round of 16, the first round was horrible for me. I was punched, the referee decided to stop the fight. I was down, I was very, very frustrated.
Heureusement, je suis parti on était 2, je suis rentré en été 3 avec la naissance de mon garçon. Peut-être c'est ça qui.
Fortunately, when I left, we were 2, and when I came back, we were 3 with the birth of my son. And maybe that's what allowed me to pick myself up again. In my head, I knew that the World Championships were coming up, and I had to bounce back quickly. And when I came here, I said to myself, you're back in your category, 60 kilos, where you were world champion and silver medalist at the Olympics. So go ahead, enjoy yourself, try to give yourself the means to reach your goal, to win the gold medal. This is Sofiane training with Nicolas Bourriette, his physical trainer. But he says the semi-final fight against the Dominican, Alexey de la Cruz, southpaw, fights a bit like me, same style of boxing as me. We've analysed him. I'm a boxer who boxes by instinct. Well, the Dominican was patient in the opening minutes, didn't fall into Umia's traps. The Frenchman just looked slightly better in the first round. It was a real strategy fight, this, and he moved ahead and did enough. Says we'll do it in the corner. Well, they're happy with his work.
La classe, Monsieur Umia.
Well, this is him on PlayStation with one of the other fighters, Sofiane Umia.
Satisfait des combats que je peux faire et je peux donner, donc maintenant je suis en finale. J'ai tendance à perdre mes finales.
He's talking about being in the final. He says, I often lose my finals, silver in Rio, silver at the European Games twice, World Championship in 2017. Today I want to win. Got past this step. That's what I want to do. Here he is with Soeb. He says, fortunately, we have the PlayStation. I don't think about boxing. I play PlayStation, I can relax. Soeb says it's important for him not to be too serious. And keep him relaxed. Interesting insight this into the dressing room. He says, I try and be myself. I'm focused, but I can laugh until it's time to fight. I try to be in my bubble, but not to be too tense, because I'm a relaxed person who's smiling and laughing. I'm going to go in with a smile on my face and do what I do best. I'm going to be as determined as I was in my previous fights. Laughing, but I'm serious inside. It doesn't necessarily show. It's positive stress, if you like. I'm ready. It's now. It's him or me. Well, two of the world's best technicians, you could say, at lightweight advance to these finals. The Uzbek Abdulmalik and Sofiane Umia. First time they'd ever met, both counter-punchers. Both all about patience and footwork and timing. Umia getting the nod. Great, great emotion for the Frenchman. And the staff were waiting for him to celebrate. So the featherweight Jamal Harvey, looking to become the first USA boxing featherweight world champion since Rocky Juarez in 1999, up against Serik Temizhanov, the Kazakh. Started well. Took the first round on all 5 judges' cards. Temizhanov came back strong in the second. He won 2 of the cards. I was really impressed with Harvey's shot selection here. Timing as well. He was too good. A little bit of a struggle in the second round, but in round 3, moved away again. 4 of the 5 cards got the decision.
Jamal Harvey.
At welter, it was Semonret's Okazawa against Amari Jones. Okazawa still looking fresh, his 6th bout. Jones got a walkover into the final. Taller man, Jones. Okazawa fighter, interesting fighter, got strong roots in Ghana, great fighting country of course, and good defensive skills. You can see the way Jones is trying to box. Nice and relaxed on the back foot. Good clash of styles this. Got a bit scrappy at times, but in the end, it's the hard work of Okazawa. Jones was maybe just a bit passive here. Okazawa got it. 2nd gold for Japan, their best ever performance. Now this was exciting at light middle. This Yuri Zakharev, 2-time European youth champion. Of course, comes from a country with an incredible boxing past and present. Lomachenko, twice winning gold. These World Championships. Sheleshchuk, Kitrov, Usyk, and Kizhniak. This guy Zakharev trying to become the 6th after those names to win a world title in Ukrainian history. But only Kitrov had done it in his 1st World Championship. Usyk and Lomachenko didn't win it first time, but up against Musayev, Zakharev was just positive constantly, and he made mistakes, but he was thrilling to watch. What a talent he is. He and Lomachenko, by the way, from the same area, Belgrade, Nestrovsky, born in the village of Andreevka. Just stayed on that front foot, wouldn't be deterred. It wasn't as clear-cut as these highlights are making it look. We're seeing a lot of the good work here from Zakharev. Don't get me wrong, he won the fight, but Musayev had some good moments as well. Just thought in the end, Musayev was a bit too passive. Made a lot of mistakes. And the Ukrainian was making him miss and making him pay, and see good footwork there. A lot to like about Zakharev.
Unanimous decision from the blue corner. He's the 2021 AIBA light middleweight world champion.
There is a name to watch. So much talent at these World Championships. That's one of the real names to take from it. Thrilling moment for him. Gold around his neck. First of many. Now then, we go to Robbie Gonzalez and Alexey Alfioro. This was the fight, this was the final anyway, that caused huge controversy, and rightly so.
No holding, no low blow, no punches for the back head. Shake hand. Good luck.
First round was all about the Belarusian. Straight left, Gonzalez down. Took all 5 judges' cards after the first round. And the pattern was, of course it's impossible to tell from these highlights, but the pattern was he absolutely dominated the first round, but got it 10-9 on all 5 cards. And if you look at the way amateur boxing scored and the criteria, he was very unlucky not to win all 5 10-8. Seeing his dominant work from this opening round, Gonzalez barely landed anything. And Alfioro was excellent. Came out strong. Much for the legend to enjoy. Watching the American fighter struggle, though. It's a bit better in the second, Gonzalez. A bit more positive, almost a bit desperate at times. Because once you've lost a round as badly as he lost the opening round, you've got to make things happen. He landed there, don't get me wrong. He did some good work. Another standing count. Gonzalez ended up winning a couple of the cards in this second round. He tried to get into the fight. He needed to win all 5 in the third, including a 10-8. Alfioro was a little bit passive, didn't maybe work as hard as he could have done. Aware that he was way ahead, tried just to do enough. Gonzalez came forward, but he didn't, for me, dominate this final round in the way Alfioro did the first, nowhere near. And even though the Belarusian is tiring, there's a lot of raggedness about the Gonzalez work. He needed to win 1-10-8 to win all 5, and guess what? He got exactly that. Look at Alfioro's reaction, the crowd's reaction as well, because the same thing had happened in the semi-final, or similar anyway, against Vladimir Melonchikov, the Serb, the home fighter. Listen, he's got a gold at the World Championships. He's a terrific fighter, but that's the man who should have been on top of the podium. Happens, doesn't it? Happens in this sport, amateur and pro. But I know a lot of people who've watched that since, a lot of ex-fighters, people close to the game, and there's not really any doubt about who the rightful winner was. Anyway, hopefully the Belarusian will have another chance. After the break, more highlights of the AIBA World Boxing Championships, including the big men, heavyweights and super heavy.
Eurosport app.
Next, we're at middleweight. The Cuban, Yuenlis Hernandez against the biggest talent from the RBF team, the Russians, Jambulat Bijamov. Bijamov only 20, but already two-time Russian elite national champion. Powerful puncher, did well with his jab in the first minute or so, but Hernandez looking for his rhythm, looking to stick to his boxing, and just started to judge the distance and started to find a way. It's been a bright start, though, from the Russian. Showed a good defense as well in round 2. Hernandez himself trapped in that corner, but good movement to get himself out of trouble, and started to showboat a little bit in round 3. Newcomer on the international stage, good clean shots, and he got the win. Won it 4-1. Bijamov got it on one of the cards, but Hernandez, the champion. Now at cruiser, Keno Machado against the Azeri, Alfonso Dominguez, Cuban really, but ex-Cuban, and now Azeri. Bit of a chess match, this one. Brazil's boxing life has developed a great deal in the last decade, producing some excellent fighters now. This was good stuff. It would be tight in the end as well, one of the closest of all the finals. Machado, Brazil's first finalist since Robson Conceição won silver 8 years ago. In the end, though, they liked Alfonso Dominguez. Now then, at heavyweight, the legend Julio de la Cruz, the Cuban, with his hands full against this Italian, Aziz Abes Muad'Din, looking for a 5th heavyweight world title. De la Cruz. Took a while to work this fellow out because Muad'Din, southpaw, awkward, thing I liked is he didn't care about the reputation. Tried to put De La Cruz under pressure. Got that size advantage as well, which gives him a really good advantage from the start. The clash of heads caused the cut over the left eye. That didn't help, but it certainly encouraged De La Cruz. In the end, the Italian fighter got this on one of the judges' cards. But it was a 4-1 win in the end for De La Cruz. Felix Havon won 6 world titles. This man now just 1 behind. Just signs, though, that he was slipping. When you watch this, and you automatically think De La Cruz will work this fellow out and next time will win wider. But Mouadine caused him enough trouble and is improving enough just to make you think that if there is a next time, the Italian will get even closer. He will go for number 6, but it won't be easy. I know the Italians were proud of their man, and rightly so. Even with that cut, still coming forward. Bit ungainly at times, of course, head down and almost charging a bit, but there was enough quality in his work to understand why that one judge gave Mouadine the fight. That said, I think the consensus would be that De La Cruz did enough. I think he just about knew he'd done enough, but wasn't hugely confident, but he got it. Likeable man, now one of the greats. Never get tired of that. Well, we finish off our roundup from the World Championships with the super heavies. Mark Petrovsky, the 22-year-old from Russia, the Armenian David Chaloyan, back in the national team after 3 years out. There's always lots of excitement, of course, around this weight class. And they both came to fight here. Russian significantly smaller, came out aggressively. It's important how active you are, of course, in the amateur sport. You already see the marking up around the left eye of Chaloyan. And he came powering back. Gloves up, but these are still scoring shots, and he dropped Petrovsky. Great power. That straight right hand through the guard that did the damage. I say at that point, you wouldn't have been calling Petrovsky the winner. Still landing that straight right, the Armenian. Then Petrovsky having some success with his hooks. And that cut getting worse and worse. Another right hook there from Petrovsky. He's not protecting that left eye at all, is he, Chaloyan? And you can see they're both starting to get tired at this point. Just pushing out the punches, no snap really there, particularly from Chaloyan. And it was now when you were starting to think Petrovsky might come on strong here in the third. See again that right hook on that damaged eye. Into round 3, Petrovsky tiring as well. And they both went for it. It was always going to be a split. In the end, it was 4-1. Only one of the judges gave it to Chaloyan. One of them laughably gave it 30-27 Petrovsky. Great action, though. They're both desperate for it. working hard right until the final bell. They were on their feet for these two. But it was the smaller man who got the gold. Jalonen thought he'd got it, as you can see. You'd watch that again though, wouldn't you? Great stuff. The super heavyweight gold. Now the Valbarga trophy, as I said earlier, went to Andy Cruz Gomez. First awarded in 1936 for the best boxer at the championships. Ha! Big smile. Great for him to win that. What a couple of weeks for him, eh? That means you are, pound for pound, the best at the World Championships, not just the best in your weight category.
This is the moment to take a photo of this historic moment.
Well, stay with us. The boxing show continues after the break with a legendary fight at the Olympics in 1992, De La Hoya Rudolph. And then we'll hear from some of the luminaries of these World Championships. See you in a moment.
Sport app.
Well, welcome back to the boxing show.
In the blue corner,
this is a real treat.
representing the United States of America,
Oscar de la Hoya.
representing Germany,
Marco Rudolph.
The Golden Boys gold medal match from 1992. The only American to win gold at these Olympic Games. Chris Bird got silver, Tim Austin bronze. Up against the German here, Marco Rudolph. And his mother, Cecilia, had died. The legend went. She hoped her son would win Olympic gold, and De La Hoya wanted to show her that he could. Just great to see these pictures. Don't often see this footage, do we? He'd win this 7-2 in the end, De La Hoya. Thing that is always notable about him, you don't see it too often in the amateurs, real power from De La Hoya, as well as everything else, as well as the speed and skills. He was by no means, by the way, the red-hot favourite to win this final. Favourite, yeah, but Rudolph was really useful. Rudolph beat De La Hoya on points in 1991 World Amateur Championship in Sydney. And there was some concern ahead of this final, but eventually, see, 1-1 after that opening round. It was a cagey start, but then De La Hoya would start to turn it up. We all know about what De La Hoya went on to achieve after this fight. Marco Rudolph turned pro 3 years after these Olympics, won his first 12. Challenged his old amateur rival Artur Grigorian to the WBO lightweight title. In 1998 was stopped and he never fought again, but he'll always be most famous, probably, for being De La Hoya's opponent in this final. So it was 3-2 at this point. It was still tight, but he'd move away in this third and final round. As his dad roaring him on, urging him to throw the left hook.
Do it, baby. You got to do it, okay? Let everything go, everything.
second count, round 3.
And it's so fascinating watching this, knowing what he would become. Let's sit back and enjoy the sights and sounds of the Golden Boy in 1992. That was the moment that sealed it. Rudolph knew, left hook from De La Hoya. Such a sweet shot. Rudolph making the mistake, overbalancing, made to pay. Lap of honor then from Oscar De La Hoya. He knew the gold was his. Huge smile that the world would grow to know very well. Nice memories, those. Great to see that again.
This organization is on a different level this year. I mean, the platform that we received is amazing. The promotion is on a professional level, which serves us very good.
Slight change in tone, but we're going to round things off by hearing what various dignitaries have to say about the World Championships. Kremlev says more than 88 nations took part. We broadcasted to over 110 countries.
Highly impressed by the level of the fighters, how many countries participated. I'm very impressed by all of them. More countries are more technical than they used to be.
The competition this year, I believe, has been one of the toughest I've seen. Some very emerging talent, because there's new weight classes. It gives other people more chances to come on board and push. So that's the most important thing. Having more weight classes, more boxers, more competition, more entertainment for everybody.
Andy Cruz says it's one of the biggest events in the world, many times stronger than the Olympic Games. I knew my Olympic title didn't mean I was world champion. I had to prove it in the ring. And I went out there and I did it.
The prize money is an extra motivation for every boxer.
For this championship, AIBA and the new president did something that's never been done, $2.6 million as prize money. We're competitors, but when we know there are $100,000 to win, everybody comes. The main change we see is the urge to win in the ring. It's even bigger. It's a huge motivation. Well, our main message is that this is a mechanism for social mobility. The prize money shows that boxing can provide a brighter future. Children can go along to boxing clubs and provide for themselves in the future.
It is important to make boxing more popular and to show that boxing is a sport which is open to all and does not discriminate.
Our job, says Kremlev, is to create the right conditions so that our athletes can participate in our competition. Also, AIBA has helped countries struggling to compete due to COVID. We've helped over 20 nations to get here. AIBA has helped teams with travel. 3 of those countries even won a medal. Also, athletes see that everyone has the chance to compete, even those living in different countries who can't represent their nation.
И также спортсмены видят, как вот возможность шансов каждому спортсмену выступать.
He's talking, of course, of fair chance team. We just heard, didn't we, from the Afghan fighters. Great initiative. It's giving plenty of people a chance, plenty of fighters a fighting chance.
Fair chance team giving guys who may have not had the opportunity to get here an opportunity now to be able to come and compete. So that's a beautiful thing. It's one of the best things I've seen about this so far.
Well, of course, says Kremlev, this World Championship demonstrates that this is a new chapter and there's fresh energy, and this reform will help us improve and conform to all the new standards. AIBA Ambassador Saeed Tagmaoui says it's very important because it's amateur boxing and all the famous professional boxers come from there. Now in 6 months with the new president, they've shown the new way they want to follow with amateur boxing, that of clarity, honesty, fair play, and that of sport. He says it's the new AIBA. It's for the future. Everything's going to improve. We'll conform to all the new modern international standards. Hope you enjoyed the boxing show. That's all for now. Bye-bye.